U.S. government launches no-interview visa processing as a pilot project to reduce backlog. Let's hear that from the U.S. Mission Consular Coordinator Susan Tuller.
Today we're talking about the no-interview visa renewal system. So it's not a drop box, it's a no-interview visa renewal procedure. And here you can see a little bit of information about it. The program that we're running now is for certain categories of visas. The intent of the new program that we'll talk a little bit more about in a few minutes is to allow us to increase our services for people seeking to travel to the U.S. for tourism or some types of work or to study.
In this video, we will also discuss about the country-wise status of U.S. embassies and consulates that has resumed certain immigrant and non-immigrant visa appointments. Before we proceed further, please like this video so YouTube algorithm can recommend helpful immigration-related video to everyone interested in this topic. This no-interview visa processing pilot project is to reduce backlog. It is not available in all posts, and it's applicable only for certain type of visa classes. Stick around till end of the video to know more. As this interview waiver is same as Dropbox method, the new procedure has some similarities and differences with the Dropbox facility, the earlier method that equally eliminated in-person interviews for visa applicants, but it was never applicable to family visas, only work visas applicants were benefited. But this interview waiver pilot program includes those family visas too. All U.S. consular officers have received the opportunity to obtain 2 COVID-19 vaccines, and many received booster shots too. Will it change visa processing speed in February and March 2022? The good news is that most consular sections have been fully open for services, and they have been able to provide the full range of services for both immigrants and Americans who are seeking to go to the U.S. as a tourist to travel or in another visa to immigrate to the U.S. But we know that it's still extremely difficult to get a visa appointment.
One of the things that the U.S. government as a whole and the individual consulates and embassies abroad look at when we're talking about new visa policies and programs are two things. One, does the visa policy or program allow us to make sure that we're protecting U.S. border security, which is our highest priority? And then, is it helping us facilitate legitimate travel to the United States? So when it comes to interview waiver programs, one of the things we found with the program we had, it didn't help with either of those things. We found that there was a lot of fraud in the applications that were coming in through our interview waiver process. We also found that it really didn't help with our overall productivity or efficiency. Today we're talking about the no-interview visa renewal system. So it's not a drop box, it's a no-interview visa renewal procedure. And here you can see a little bit of information about it. The program that we're running now is for certain categories of visas. We internally look at a lot of indicators when we see applicants to make sure that the applicants have provided real information, not fraudulent information, and a lot of times the fraudulent information is linked to visa tout services. Now we understand, like I said, that there are not many appointments available for regular interviews, and that's just a factor of the limitations from the pandemic on us and what we're able to do. And I know that one way people can sometimes get appointments is paying visa touts for those appointments. But I would really encourage people to check our website, look themselves for appointments. Like I said, if you have had a visa before and you do qualify for this program, there are appointments right now. You don't need to pay a tout, you just need to go online and book those appointments.
And the intent of the new program is to allow State Department to increase visa services for people seeking to immigrate to the United States to reunite with family, or travel to the U.S. for tourism, or travel for some types of work, or to study, but the priority remains in providing services to Americans living abroad, like renewing passports and obtaining birth certificates for their children. And this program is one of the continuing efforts that U.S. Embassy is making since they were closed for a short period at the beginning of the pandemic. This will increase the consular services that they provide to immigrants and Americans despite the ongoing challenges that they continue to face as a result of the pandemic. For more immigration news and updates similar to this, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Do not forget to hit that notification bell. Let's continue with the video. Who can apply for this? The pilot program will significantly increase the opportunities to immigrants who will have to apply to renew a visa if they've already been issued a U.S. visa in the past and they meet the criteria for eligibility. The new procedure has some similarities and differences with the Dropbox facility. Although the announcement is broadly worded, applicants who are subject to one of these standard obstacles to a visa interview waiver should contact the consular office where they plan to apply to inquire whether an interview waiver is available to them. Applicants needing legal advice should contact an experienced immigration attorney. The lifting of blanket restrictions on travel to the United States will come as welcome news to thousands of immigrant and non-immigrant visa holders and other foreign national travelers who have families in the United States and have been kept apart for almost the entire pandemic. But what will happen to those who is still waiting for immigrant and non-immigrant visas and for those who are not covered by these interview waiver programs? The State Department remains a major barrier to reopening the United States to legal travel and immigration. The State Department does not publish any accessible public information on immigrant visa, that is permanent visa appointment availability by consulate. The department fails to publish aggregate statistics on its reopening progress and only makes available information on non-immigrant visa, that is temporary visa availability, in an online search tool. That only returns results for individual consulates. Let's check on country-wise status of U.S. embassies and consulates that has resumed certain immigrant and non-immigrant visa appointments. We will discuss what kind of visas they are processing. Many embassies will resume routine immigrant and non-immigrant visa appointments beginning February 2022. But initial spike is expected as some categories of visa appointments are resuming after a long time. Philippines. Routine visa services remain limited at the U.S. Embassy Manila. The embassy is processing immigrant visas across all categories, but wait times for interviews are long, except for immediate relative applicants. For non-immigrant visas, the embassy is prioritizing applicants with urgent travel needs. Mexico. Visa services open, but they are limited and vary by city. Check consulate website link provided in the description for updated info. United Kingdom. The U.S. Embassy in London and the U.S. Consulate in Belfast currently are open for emergency non-immigrant visa services only. They have not resumed routine visa services, including tourist visa services. Immigrant visa appointments are available but limited. Check consulate website link provided in the description for updates. India. The U.S. Consulate in Mumbai reopened all immigrant visa services. Routine non-immigrant services remain limited at U.S. Embassy New Delhi and the consulates Chennai, Hyderabad, Kolkata, and Mumbai. China. The U.S. Consulate General Guangzhou has resumed processing of fiancé and immigrant visa applications. Non-immigrant visa services resumed at the U.S. Embassy in Beijing and the U.S. Consulates General in Guangzhou, Shanghai, and Shenyang. All consular services at U.S. Consulate General Chengdu have been suspended until further notice. Dominican Republic. The U.S. Embassy in Santo Domingo is offering limited routine immigrant visa services. Limited routine work and student visa services have resumed. Tourist visa services remain suspended, although emergency appointments are available. Learn more by checking consulate website link provided in the description. Thailand. The U.S. Embassy and Consulate General in Thailand has resumed routine non-immigrant and immigrant visa services. Applicants are also able to renew their visa by mail. Brazil. The U.S. Embassy and consulates in Brazil will resume routine non-immigrant visa appointments. Immigrant visa services currently are offered on an emergency basis only. Nigeria. The U.S. Embassy in Abuja and Consulate General in Lagos are offering limited non-immigrant and immigrant visa services. Colombia. The U.S. Embassy Bogotá has suspended routine non-immigrant visa operations. A limited number of immigrant visa services are available. Ukraine. The U.S. Department of State has suspended consular services at the U.S. Embassy in Kyiv due to the threat of Russian military action. Applicants for non-immigrant visas may apply in any country they are currently present and where there are available appointments. For those with pending immigrant visa applications at the U.S. Embassy in Kyiv, they may request to transfer their case to another U.S. embassy by contacting that embassy directly. Russia. U.S. Embassy in Moscow has suspended all immigrant visa services. The U.S. Embassy in Warsaw is processing immigrant visas for residents of Russia. Visa services at U.S. consulates in Yekaterinburg and Vladivostok remain suspended due to critically low staffing. Vietnam. The U.S. Embassy in Hanoi has resumed limited visa services. Non-immigrant and immigrant emergency appointments are available by request. Non-immigrant and immigrant visa interviews slowly started to resume. Indonesia, the U.S. Embassy in Jakarta is offering immigrant visa services in all categories. The United States Embassy in Jakarta and Consulate General Surabaya have resumed limited appointments for all non-immigrant visa categories. Canada, most U.S. consulate in Canada is open for immigrant and non-immigrant visa appointments and will prioritize immediate relative visas of U.S. citizens. Check consulate website link provided in the description for visa services status since it varies by city. Apology if your country or consulate is missed. We couldn't include all the countries due to length of the video. Appreciate if you can provide them in comments so we can try to include that in our next video if there is more demand from a specific country. Most up-to-date and detailed non-immigrant visa processing status, along with visa wait times for individual U.S. consular posts in your city abroad are provided in the description.